without any input from him regarding his political ambitions, if there are any. From people pegging him as the best to return to PDP, to those taking him to court, asking the court to ensure that he does not go near a ballot box in 2027, to speculations, controversies, arguments. Still, Goodluck has said nothing yet, because at some point he would have to speak. But once again, he is in the news for one of such reasons. This time, it is by a northern group. The People's Democratic Party, Northern Support Group, have declared full support for former President Goodluck Jonathan to fly the party's flag in the 2027 presidential election, describing him as the only man capable of redeeming the PDP and restoring Nigeria's unity. That's quite a statement. The group made a declaration in a communique issued at the end of its 8th meeting held in Birnin Kebbi State on Wednesday and Thursday. In the communique jointly signed by Northern Coordinator Yusuf Abubakar and the Northwest Zonal Secretary Adamu Narai, the group called for an aggressive and coordinated media campaign, particularly in the North, to mobilize support for Jonathan and promote the PDP's renewed agenda. Now, this is just a group within the party, whether big or small. It's lending a voice to raising calls for the former president to run. And we're going past the eligibility of him to run. What have the court said? Do you think he can sustain, renew, and all of that? But now there are lots of perspectives to this. And even though this is a conversation that is recurring, and I believe this is not the last, we need to also look at a few things. Is this PDP's desperate attempt to save itself? Because we know that the party is currently in quicksand and it is sinking up to its nose. If it goes just above that, then it's suffocation. And the question that I have for this conversation, which hopefully you will give me an answer to, would a Jonathan candidacy upset a Tinubu second bid in any way, shape, or form? My guest is the news manager, CoolWazobiaInfo, Ufuoma, Egbamuno. You used to know him as a sports guy. He renounced sports a long time ago.
I did not.
Well, can you please let me do the introduction?
I have to cut
You didn't even let me like.
That's fake news. Sports till I die.
I was flowing now.
Football till I die. I even prefer it to sitting down here and talking to you.
Okay, well, that's Ufuoma. I can't see anything else. He has brought himself in.
Good afternoon. Is it good evening, Port Harcourt and beyond? It's good to be here.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure having you. Okay, so straight to business. A northern group, right? And I know that there might be conversations around the relevance of this group. But along with others, have been calling on Jonathan. Do you think, before we even talk about the candidacy, whether Jonathan is interested or not, do you think this is a desperate attempt of the party to save itself?
You could say that. You could say it's a desperate attempt for the PDP to sort of reclaim power. Because let's be honest, the PDP has been going down the drain since 2015. And if care is not taken, if they are unable to wrestle this downward spiral, apologies to AVB, the former Tottenham manager, they might go extinct anytime soon. But again, in President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, I would say they have a viable candidate. They have a candidate who commands lots of respect across borders. We're not talking about a state election here. We're not talking about a regional election here. We're talking about being president of the country. And what better person than someone who has already been on that seat, who has ruled for at least 6 years? Yeah, 2 years, 1 year. Okay, almost 6 years.
Yeah.
So you don't have a better candidate. If you look through the PDP as it is right now, you could argue that there is no better candidate than getting back the former president. There's also been, talk of wooing back the former Anambra governor who was presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023. There have been those conversations. You could argue that while Peter Obi might have the momentum right now, you could also argue that would he have the acceptability across board? And I'm not talking just winning elections in maybe the southeast, the south, Lagos, a few pockets in the north central. At least I'm judging from 2023.
Yeah.
But if you look at a President Jonathan, at least from his antecedent some years ago,
Has better appeal in the north.
he has better appeal in the north,
Yeah.
and will most likely command respect down south. So for the PDP, I think if it happens, as it is right now, it's still rumors. We don't know for certain. But like we always say here, there's no smoke without fire.
Yes, indeed. And this smoke is very smoky. Now, let's look at just clouds, right? Look away from competence for a bit. We'll get there. Just the popularity, the influence, the name. At this time, let's even take party away. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu right now is the president of the country. He obviously has a second-term bid. It's not a secret. He has talked about it. It's confirmed. Now, how many politicians are on Tinubu's level of influence that if they were good to go pound for pound, you know that even if they don't win, they would ruffle his feathers? Atiku is obviously there. They say Jonathan should come back. You just mentioned Peter Obi. Are these the only three people that on a cloud level, popularity, interest can go against Tinubu without talking competence?
I would say yes. I don't think there's any other person on the list.
I was asking about Makinde a few months ago. I asked somebody about it. Was Makinde not?
The question will Makinde beat Tinubu in Oyo State? He's the current governor of Oyo State. Will he beat President Tinubu in Oyo State? That's the question you should ask. If it was up against another president or another person, maybe. But will Sheyi Makinde beat President Tinubu in Oyo State?
What
I
of
will tell you
Amechi?
the answer is no.
What of Amechi?
I like Amechi. This is a personal opinion. I came into Rivers State during his second term, and from afar, I liked his antecedent as governor, especially the way he became governor. If you remember that whole, he won the primaries. His name was substituted, and personally, I always like underdogs, so I liked that. But coming to Rivers State, in 2012 or November 2012 precisely, and then getting to read about some of the things he had done in fact, people will argue that he did more in his first tenure than his second term, because there was a lot of political fight in his second term. But I like him as a governor. He did absolutely brilliant. Had his flaws, had his issues. But Sam, we're talking about a national election here. We're talking about being president. The question again you would ask is, will Rotimi Amechi beat he possibly might beat an Atiku in Rivers State? Will he beat a Peter Obi in Rivers State? Will he beat a Jonathan in Rivers State? It's an open-ended question. I don't have an answer. Obviously, I think in a free and fair election, he will beat President Tinubu in Rivers State. Never mind all of the, talk that you would hear outside. He definitely would, because of course the home whatever will come into play. But in a national election where you have to put a lot of factors into play, I do not think that the former governor of Rivers State he might be second tier. But in that first tier, we're talking. A lot of people would not, before 2023, a lot of people would not have put Peter Obi in that list, myself included. I've been on record and I've said it times with that number. I was shocked at the numbers he pulled. I did not think he had that. Remember that this is someone who contested on a platform that did not have structure. structure. You know what is structure in
Yeah.
local parlance here.
Yeah.
But he was able to get 6 million votes. That's unprecedented. The only person that has beaten that record is the late president,
Yar'Adua?
no,
Buhari?
Buhari, who has always had that cult following in the north.
Yeah.
No other president has had, even the person who is president today, his total numbers were just about 8 million. And that's someone who contested in a party that had structure. So for me, if we're looking at least, today is what? Today is the 9th of October 2020, I almost said 2027. 2025. If we're looking at today, looking at the candidates, looking at a lot of factors, competence, national spread, popularity, acceptability, a lot of these factors, I think you will put the current president in that mix, the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, and of course, the former Labour Party presidential candidate.
So my plan was to keep throwing names at you and to see at what point we'll have a contender. Now, Wike has obviously said that he's going to work for the re-election of his boss.
Obviously.
Let's imagine that's not the case and he was still interested in the top job. Of course, he ran for the last election. That's what led to his fallout.
Primaries.
Yes, the primaries, his fallout with Atiku. If Wike were in the running, would he be able to wrest power from Tinubu or at least ruffle his feathers, clout-wise?
He most likely will get the PDP ticket, but he wouldn't. This is me being honest.
Would the loss be by a wide margin?
A terrible margin. See, it's one thing, the politics we play in the party, within the party to get the ticket. It's not a popularity contest.
Yeah.
It's more about who is able to get the delegates on their side. And we've heard rumors about how these delegates get on their side. So
Dollarization.
It's a different kettle of fish getting the ticket in the primaries and getting the acceptability by Nigerians. Now, if this was during the late president's tenure, remember that at a point in time, the former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, was like the lone opposition voice.
He was always attacking Buhari, yes.
Exactly, in the PDP.
Yeah.
At that point in time, he had quite a lot of acceptability, at least down south.
Yeah, it was very popular
at least
then.
down south. But the activities of the FCT minister in 2023 and since then has not endeared him to a lot of people. And I'm not talking Rivers State. In the election, he most likely will beat a Tinubu, for example, if we're putting them side by side in Rivers State. But I do not think that outside of Rivers State that there's any other state that Nyesom Wike will win in comparison to what's his name now, the current president or a Peter Obi.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know. In the north, I honestly cannot see. But down south here, it'll be hard to
Mm.
put both sides, especially since 2023. Remember what I said.
Yeah.
If you go back a few years ago, before 2023, when Nyesom Wike had that acceptability, so to speak, in the eyes of the general populace, maybe. But as it is right now, I do not think he's in the good books of quite a lot of people. And I'm talking both the political elites and, of course, the ordinary citizens.
All right. We'll take a break. When we return, you get to be a part of the conversation. My question is simple. Will the Jonathan candidacy upset Tinubu's second term bid in any way? Stay with us. Welcome back. Still Hard Facts, 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Oracle Chinedu here. And my guest, Ufuoma Egbamuno, is still in the studio with me. Hello, Ufuoma.
Hi, Sam.
Once again, Jonathan's name is in the news for reasons beyond his control. And we're asking questions that matter. If eventually all of this smoke translates to fire, would a Jonathan candidacy upset a Tinubu second bid in any way, shape, or form? The numbers to call are 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 903 06416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage. And my first question to my guest was if this was a desperate plea by the PDP. And that question came from this singular statement. The Northern Support Group described Jonathan as the only man capable of redeeming the PDP and restoring Nigeria's unity. That's where personal interest aligns with public interest. So it's in their best interest that Jonathan saves the party and by extension, according to them, saves the country. Hello, good evening. All right, I lost that call. Call back if you can. Good evening.
Evening.
Evening, what's your name?
This is David calling from New York.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I think if former President Goodluck Jonathan throw in the soil to contest without electoral reform, I think the issue will still be the same. They will still maneuver, even if they like bring Jonathan 13. If there is no electoral reform and that decisiveness of the voters to vote and make sure that their vote counts, stand back, where if there will be pressure to read, the problems will resist the politicians with their bag of money. I think the answer lies on the voters. That is me and you. What do we want? What have we seen for these past years of the first tenure? Because I'm just seeing it from the ethnicity point of view. Because they are looking at it since the South-South. Tinubu from the Southwest has finished 4 years. Then due to one or two issues, let another person from either Southeast or South-South, which will not be okay for Southeast, but okay for South-South, based on things that past president did in the country. So for me, let there be an electoral reform. Let's see more thing that will be an electoral reform and let them allow the INEC to work.
All right, before I let you go.
They will do that.
Yeah.
The governor, the former president will win Tinubu.
Okay, so hold on. Before I let you go, we just got a new INEC chairman today. It's been announced and confirmed.
Yeah, you're right.
I said we just got a new INEC chairman today. So are you hopeful?
I'm looking at reform. I'm not after the name or where it's coming from. That doesn't really matter. Let them do the needful, the necessary thing that will judge their conscience. Just as our governor here will always say, I will never ask you to do anything that is against the law.
All right.
Let them allow them to go. It
Thank
doesn't
you.
matter whether it is from Southwest.
Thank you very much. Obed from Port Harcourt. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Sam.
Good evening.
And Ufuoma Egbamuno.
Hi, good evening.
Thank you very much. Ufuoma, this year you have resigned from sports.
I did not. Sam was carrying fake news.
Obed, this is hard facts. We only spill facts here. Please go ahead.
Who do I believe?
Believe me.
Okay, yes. Mr. Sam, I think Jonathan stands a chance, particularly in this our region. If Jonathan peradventure accepts, it's no go area for Tinubu, of course. That's why you see many APC members who have now turned to advisor to Jonathan, advising him, don't dent your image, don't spoil your reputation here and there. You understand? So even when I even wonder if somebody giving a shot to return as president It's now how is that connected to denting of image or spoiling one's reputation thereabout. So if Jonathan come out, Jonathan has a chance. You understand? Under fair contest, Jonathan will win. You understand? But if they want to do it the other way around, not on this side of the region, you understand? Because here it will be very difficult for you to change the result here. You understand? But if fair contest, Jonathan will win. I've seen it clearly. You understand? He stand a chance very, very well. Then let me tell him finally, Mr. Sam, he should not listen to anybody who is telling him not to come out, you are going to dent your image, not at all. Let it.
And the next message reads, Mr. Desperate, but I want to assure them that their desperation will not save them from the political quagmire they've brought upon themselves. I would want to beg Jonathan not to fall prey to their false and deceptive tendencies. The PDP should be allowed to swallow the bitter pill they prepared for themselves. Even if Jonathan decides to join the race, he shouldn't toe the path of PDP, remembering what they did to him in 2015. But I advise him to steer clear from Nigeria's politics and enjoy the international respect and influence he has built for himself. Okoro Hyacinth says on WhatsApp. Emeka calls from Owerri. Hello, Emeka. Good evening.
Oracle, good evening, my daughter. This last question to make nice what I done last year. You see that when somebody contests president, anytime Buhari press for president, what is the relation of football if the contest and lose? What did he lose? He lose a state party for obviously anybody that gives him good luck, that kind of that schedule that there is something that's giving good luck. If good luck wants to run, he has the constitutional right to run. Even if he loses the election, it doesn't move anything for him. He's still a state man. But my take on this issue is today, you have said what I want to say. See, what's reform? They are taking place in the area of political structure of this country. Especially in terms of appointment of INEC chairman. They don't give us rules that breaking news that someone has been appointed. Who appointed the person? And they do it rank by rank. Someone that like that, the one and they do it the way that this one will take, this one from Mamudu, later in India. Instead of allowing president to appoint election, and how many of these people taking the election? You cannot get the translate the election with this kind of system we're talking about. I said if you were taking the therapy today, a lot of people in office today think that they want election. They don't.
Thank you. I was hoping that, but we got a major part of the point you were making. Clinton calls from Bori. Hello, Clinton. Good evening.
Sanwako, good evening.
Good evening.
Water that is hot. It's not conducive for him. I believe he's aware, and most especially the PDP. The PDP, there are a lot of boogie traps in the PDP waiting for him. So I would advise him to just maintain his standard, his reputation so far. Again, talking about him winning in the South. See, the political dynamics have changed in the South compared to when he was the president of Nigeria. There are a lot of factors that contribute to someone winning an election in Nigeria. Does he have that structure to win an election in the South, talk more of Nigeria? So I think that President Goodluck Jonathan knows very well as a politician, as a seasoned politician, an experienced politician, that currently now it doesn't stand a chance against President Tinubu unless he wants to play the spoilers game for the South. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
So I agree with the last caller. I agree with him that the political dynamics have changed since the last time he was president. I'll use River State as a good example. In 2015, when Goodluck was president and he contested against the late President Buhari, who was candidate of the APC did